It's a group project presentation, and this is a video from group 2, which is me, Ahmad Mazli, and Muhammad Faiz, and Amirul bin Tamsu Kamal. But unfortunately, Amirul will not be presenting in this video because of some unavoidable issue, such as something that involved with his internet problem. Okay, so for this video, my group is going to share to you the separation process application in the chemical industry that we are given, which is about solid liquid extraction. Okay, so we will proceed with our presentation.
Background company. There is a company that produces essential oil and wellness solution, which is the first, also the best, and the company is known as Young Living Company. It was founded in 1993 in Riverton, Utah, and the leader is known as Gary Young, which is the first CEO of the company. Young Gary developed his first farm and distillation operation, and he discovered the incredible power of essential oil because of the ability to produce spectacular results. The company became more popular after hitting market target and the possibility to gain larger and grow better. The company finally opened their first international farm in Ecuador in 2006. After many years passed, the company were categorized as world leader in essential oil and wellness solution.
Thank you, Faiz, for the background company. So now I'm going to continue with these companies, Young Living's essential oil extraction chemical process and its PFD, which is process flow diagram. Okay, so now one general chemical process that involved in this essential oil extraction is we can call as solvent extraction. Okay, now I'm going to explain its processes. Later I will go through to give a more understanding explanation. Okay, so in this solvent extraction, we will go through the solvent first. The solvent used in this extraction is a food grade solvent such as hexane and ethanol to isolate essential oils from plant material. Okay, there are many plant material, especially when it is about extract essential oils. The plant material is from the plant that we use. As example, lavender, chamomile, lemon, peppermint, and so much more. Okay, so it is best suited for plant materials that yield low amounts of essential oil, and that are largely resinous, which is this solvent extraction is very good for the essential oil that can be extracted from a plant material that have low amount of oil, but that low amount specifically has high concentration. Okay. Um, this method also produce a finer fragrance than any type of the other method. Okay, so through this process, there is also sometimes, not sometimes, but most of the time, non-volatile plant materials such as waxes and pigments are also extracted from the plant material and then will be removed through other processes because we only want the essential oil. Okay, so now once the plant material have been treated with the solvent, it produces a waxy aromatic compound called a concrete. So then the concrete substance will be mixed with alcohol, then the oil particle will release from the alcohol. Okay, now I'm going to go through PFD, which is the process flow diagram for this essential oil extraction. Okay, this is the PFD for this extraction process, and this is actually a process of the circulation of the solvent. But why I take this, because there is also the solid liquid extraction process in it. Okay, so where can we see the process flow? The solid liquid extraction happens at the extraction vessel, which we can see the number 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is the extraction vessel. Okay, so now I'm going to pass this PFD to the next topic. Okay, now I'm going to go through the concept, the process, and lastly the equipment used in this process. Okay, so now before we go through the better explanation of the BFD, which is the flow, I'm going to first go through a more better explanation through the concept of this solid liquid extraction. Okay, so in this extraction, there is, just now as I explained, a solvent extraction and also a term called leaching. Okay, so first, the solvent extraction. The principle for the solid liquid extraction is that the soluble compounds of a solid metal exist of an inert matrix and the active agent are extracted by a solvent. Okay, so the soluble compound of a solid metal, which is some things that we can say the plant material, exists inert matrix, which is some substance in the plant material which needed to be extracted, and the solvent will help the solvent extraction by act as an active agent to extract the oils in the plant material. Okay, now the extract can be included in the extraction matter. It's either in solid or a liquid form. Some example, which is others than essential oil that extracted from flowers, is, we can say, a fine dispersion on the solid metal like caffeine that are extracted in coffee. Okay, so now what is leaching? Okay, a leaching doesn't matter the definition, but we already apply it in our daily life. Some things that, as an example, is we brew hot tea in the morning. Okay, so hot tea. So how do we prepare a hot tea? We prepare it with hot water. We put a sachet of tea. Then later, the tea from the sachet will be extracted to the water, not just changing its color, but also giving the good taste of tea. That is what we call leaching, a process of a solid liquid extraction. We can see the sachet will be act as the plant material, our flower, and the tea inside it is our inert matrix, the solid liquid extraction that needed to be extracted, and the hot water will act as a solvent, will help the extraction of the tea through the water. Now, not just color changes, but also the flavor of tea will be spread through the water. That is an example of leaching. Okay, that's all for the concept of this solid liquid extraction. Okay, now I'm going to explain the process in the PFD that I showed just now and the equipment used in the industry that involve the solid liquid extraction. Okay, as I say, this PFD is a process that is actually involved, but not the overall process of the essential oil extraction. This process is a solvent circulation process, but there is also solid liquid extraction process, which, as I highlighted there, that happen in the extraction vessel. Before I explain the equipment, I will explain first the process of this PFD. Okay, So we can see the highlighted tank there, which is the extraction vessel. The bottom column is the inlet of the solvent, and there is no feed, but we just take it as the plant material is placed in the shaded region at the number 4 there. That is our plant material, and solvent will enter and it will extract the oils to the column number 5. There is also not just oil will go through number 5, but also waxes, and such as pigment also will be called, that produce concrete, called as concrete, which is wax and oil. Then later it will flow through the sphere, this sphere tank we can see there. In there it will be mixed with alcohol, so wax and oil, which is the concrete, will enter the tank, and alcohol is there to release the oil from the wax. Okay, we can see there is a hose down the circle tank. The hose is to flow out the oil, while the alcohol and not the alcohol but the solvent, which is the solvent leftovers that being carried with the oil, will go back up, and it will go through a cooler, which is, we can see there is a rotation. The outside layer is the coolant, and the rotation is the process to heat exchange, to the cooling process of the solvent to be entered back and to be recycled back to the extraction vessel. Okay, so now the equipment used in the industry for the solid liquid extraction is the extraction vessel. In there will be a process of separating oil from the plant material. The oil will act as our solute, and the plant material, which is our flour, will be act as solid, and the separate oil to be the concrete, which is the wax and oil, by using solvent, which is as a liquid phase. So also just now I say solvent will be used as the solvent that will be used is a volatile solvent, such as petroleum, ether, and hexane. Some more, solvent extraction typically produces a finer fragrance that most other extraction methods, which further increases its appeal for certain application. And that's all the process and equipment used in the industry explanation from me, and I pass to Faiz for the next topic.
Compare and contrast the solid liquid extraction to liquid extraction. So right now I will go through about the difference and the same part of the solid liquid extraction and liquid extraction. First of all, as the name is called solid and liquid, it shows that there are difference about them, which is the solid liquid extraction will involve solid matter, and liquid extraction will involve only liquid. So we will go through to the difference of the basic principle between solid liquid extraction and liquid extraction. First, we will go through by the basic principle. Solid liquid extraction. So, solid liquid extraction is a soluble compound of solid matter that will existing the inert matrix and active agent, and they extracted by a solvent. So, the extracted can be included in the extraction matter, which is will form in a solid or liquid. Next, for the liquid, basic principle is liquid is involved the solute or analyte. and they can distribute itself, and the product will be in the liquid form. From this slide, we can know that there are two different types. For the next slide will be the application for the between two bows, SLE and LLE. So, solid liquid extraction, the application is food industry, leaching of sugar, and production of vegetable oil. So we can see that the solid liquid extraction have a different industry, which is can produce solid, also can produce the liquid. Then for liquid extraction application is the petroleum industry, biochemical and pharmaceutical industry, also in organic industry. And we will go through to the advantages between solid liquid extraction and liquid extraction. So the advantages for the solid is a common method, which is the easiest way, and we can procedure to do. uh, Next, it have the reduction of production loss. It also use minimum number of solvent and suitable for wide range. For liquid extraction, it was directly selectivity of extraction. Also, the same with solid extraction, which is suitable for wide range and reduction of production loss. So that's all for the compare and contrast for between two equipment, which is the solid extraction and liquid extraction. So you get it right? You can differentiate which one more better and which one is wider useful. That's all. Thank you.
So, did you guys understand everything that my friends tell you? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please comment anything. Okay, goodbye.